Grand Rising, afternoon, evening, GMs, Jazz Local Empress. Y'all, we finna check in the energy and see what are you attracting, okay? We finna see what are you attracting in addition to what's blocking it, okay? What's blocking it, the things you want at least. Like, what's blocking you from getting the things you want, potentially. So, we're gonna hop in here. I'm gonna use 2 different decks, y'all. We're gonna start out with this Abundant Attraction deck, okay? And see what's going on in y'all energy. See what you're attracting. I invite my highest loving angel, guide, ancestors, and loving spirits to join this read. May the messages be clear, concise, and in alignment with our highest good. And I ask the Archangel Michael protect this reading as well as the collective. Okay, also banishing our negativity and transmuting it into dollars and blessings. Ashe. Y'all, let's see what's in the energy. Spirit, what does the collective have in their energy? What are they attracting? What are y'all attracting these days? What's in your energy? Y'all got some things that's around y'all that's harmful influences. Not all who surround you support your highest good. I often say your honest good. So these y'all got some people in y'all energy who not honest, okay? But Spirit is saying that not everything that's surrounding you, not all people surrounding you support your highest good. You got to pay attention to relationships, things that influence lower vibrations, things that cloud your judgment, and protect your peace, protect your energy. Interact with people wisely. So y'all have some snakes in the grass, it's given, okay? Y'all are maybe indulging in some past places you used to go to, or maybe some habits you was indulging in with some of these past energies. And it could be potentially attracting energy you don't want to deal with. I feel like something's going to fall out. But yeah, you could be attracting some energy you don't want to deal with. You know what I mean? So if you a frequent flyer of a place where you know some toxicity live, you might need to switch up what you do. You know, if you went out to this particular place and then where the people are that's toxic that you used to mess with, maybe you need to find you a new place to hang out or something else to do. I don't know. But yeah. Ooh. Catastrophizing. The mind, y'all. Your mind is a terrible place to waste. If you thinking negative thoughts, they're going to become your reality. That's heavy on this. I ain't even read into it yet, but definitely your mind is a terrible thing to waste. And if you're not prioritizing your energy and your time and your mind to healthy thoughts, healthy functions, healthy habits, you're going to be open fucking sesame for low vibrations and BS and entities. You know what I mean? The mind has a way of amplifying fears and creating the worst case scenarios. Dwelling on potential negative outcomes can trap you in unnecessary anxiety and block the flow of abundance. Breathe, release, and choose faith over fear. So you cannot let your mind worry you into a place where you lack abundance, where you lack abundant energy, where you always mapping out how shit not gonna work out. It's like sometimes we come up with great ideas. Just as fast as you create the idea, you will tell yourself, hey, it ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? Well, I ain't gonna get that file, or I ain't gonna have enough money that day, or this ain't gonna pan out because whatever. You know what I mean? Stop telling yourself why it's not gonna work. The universe wants things to work. What you want is seeking you too. You just gotta feel that, embrace that, energetically know that, so that that's what comes towards you, rather than you putting, you know what I mean, negativity out here when that's exactly what you're trying to avoid. Y'all have a prosperous estate. So this is also why you got to get out your head. Okay, you have an abundance that's waiting for you to come towards you. You're inheriting this. Okay, your prosperity is no longer just an idea. It seeks to take shape in the form of real estate. Okay, property is giving land. Okay, and tangible assets. Be open to grounding your abundance with into physical reality through the acquisition of land and or property. Okay, so you're going to be getting some, whether it's a house, this is outright land, but you need to get out of your head about trying to confirm how. A lot of times when we think things are coming into fruition, we're trying to map out in our head, how could this be possible? How is this going to take place? How is it going to take shape? It doesn't matter. That does not matter. The divine is going to line things up that are perfectly for you. You could have been wanting something that had a little book nook so you could read away at night, or I don't know, some little den, a little man cave, she cove or something. I don't know. But whatever it is that you wanted, whatever bells and whistles that you aspire to have, or maybe stay on your new home, your new car, whatever. You wanted 10 acres of land and a farm. Whatever it is that you think about having, have that vision and keep it. Stay faith-driven that it can come into fruition, and it will, because your energy matters. How you radiate and what you speak over yourself is what you can achieve. So if you don't feel like you can achieve it, it's not coming, because you already said it's not. If you believe it is, that's all it took. Frequency match. What did I just say? If you believe it's coming to you, it is. You got to match the frequency of the shit you want. You got to embrace energetically the things that you seek to find. So if you want peace, you got to be peace. If you want abundance, move like you abundant. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be looking good, baby, wake up and feel that way. Tell self that. Embrace that. Dress yourself in that manner. You know what I mean? Treat yourself like you're already that millionaire. That's what you want to be, right? How would a millionaire function? How would somebody that is already abundant function? If you had that house and that truck and that car and that whatever you want already, how would you function? If you had that promotion already, how would you function? That's how you got to maneuver. Frequency matching. The things that you want, you got to maneuver like you already got it, because that's the truth of the matter. You know what I mean? Like attracts like, and your energy calls forth relationship interactions that match your frequency. Embody the qualities you want to see in others, for you are both the reflection of the invitation. So if you want a partner that's loving, sweet, empathetic, that's what you got to exude. You want somebody that's graceful. You want somebody who is understanding, communicative. You need to be those things. You need not be closed off, not shallow, not hurt. You know what I mean? Heal yourself. Work on yourself. Always be in self-improvement, because that's what you will find. Somebody who is in the same embodiment, so that you're not having somebody that's like oil and water. Okay? What I just say? Toxic environment. Do what you got to do so your frequency can match. Because if you ain't lining up your frequency, white baby, you're going to line up with toxicity. I'm literally seeing it, y'all. Spirit is confirming. A toxic atmosphere may be interfering with your ability to focus on your goals and attract positive outcomes. The energy around you influence your thoughts and emotions. Choose relationships and spaces that inspire and support you. So this might be given heavy on, with this prosperous estate. Let's say your location is not the greatest. Let's say you're not in the most aesthetically appealing circumstance. Find something about it that you like. Find your way to navigate. Even when you feel like, I'm so frustrated with X, Y, and Z, find a way to circumvent that and flip that negative moment into something positive. I don't know. Let's say, this is so random, y'all, but let's say you got a full-size bed and you wake up and be like, I'm getting too long. I need a bigger bed. Something simple like that. No, you want that king-size bed, but you don't have it right now. You know what I mean? So be appreciative. As fast as you think, I need a bigger bed, but, I'm so glad I got one. You know, I'm so glad I'm not sleeping on the floor. You know what I mean? There's a way to immediately redirect that energy and draw back into a positive space, because you about to let it slip away and just wallow in negativity. You can't stay there. You cannot be unappreciative. You are blessed already. You have an abundance of blessings already, right before you. It's just up to you to see it for what it is. See the blessings for what they are right in front of you, because otherwise you will stay complaining. Otherwise you will complain every day, all day about everything, because it's always going to be something. Something you want, something that could be better. It's always something. That's if you see it that way. If you realize that you got a lot going for yourself, it creates less room for you to complain. Okay? So appreciate, be in gratitude, live in gratitude. That's primarily. Hold on. Let me flip this over. This deck just tried to get in. We're going to see what's blocking you now. Let's get into what blockages could be existing to Spirit. So we know you're trying to attract, your prosperous estate. We know you're trying to attract frequency matching. You know you got to get out of toxic energy. Oh, speaking of getting out of toxic energy, you got to be mindful of people who only want to be in sacred energy with you to steal it, okay? You got to be mindful of people who like sacred energy because they come in to siphon and steal it. There's nothing wrong with sharing yourself in the regard of intimacy, but when you're not doing it with a divine counterpart, it becomes energy drainage, because there is nothing pouring back into you. So you just exuding all that beautiful sacred energy. But where does it go? What is done with it after? You got to be mindful of that. Sometimes people only come in for a good time. Hell, you could have functioned out that space in the past, but ultimately it wasn't beneficial. So if you was moving like that before, that's no longer. It's say either you or your partner is the only one sex, except that it's okay to reach for more. So you got to want more out of these dynamics. And the person that you're going to find is essentially going to be in the same energy. Okay? Have a different perspective about your dynamics, about intimacy, about what it looks like. Seek perfection. So you also are caught up in things being exactly the way you want them to be, or maybe you've had some kind of standardized expectation or list or perceived idea of how a person is exactly supposed to look or function or be or whatever it is. This dream fantasy concept kind of thing, when the reality is nothing, nobody gonna meet everything you got on this damn bucket list of shit. Well, you're trying to build a man, build a lady. So it's like everybody got flaws. You got to choose only 5 must-haves and deal breakers that matter. So kind of wean yourself out of this whole ridiculous expanded ass list of expectations, because you ain't gonna fan nobody. Nobody is telling you to just lower your standards to the point where you are without boundary or without some expectation, but the things that you should expect out of someone should be regarding their character, okay? Not things that are superficial. I think that is priority here, okay? Stop looking for things to look a certain way. Sometimes the things that you ideally were attracted to is exactly what you don't need, because that's what it had you in past circumstances that was unfavorable. So you might need to still clear what you used to anyway. And authenticity, baby. It's like not being you. So being authentic, it's going to vibrate highest. Okay, beyond love, authenticity vibrate the highest. And that's what's going to attract in the person that you want for you. That frequency match, okay, that you're seeking. You're trying to project a perfect image, but it's not really you. Be yourself. Be yourself. When you're going through stuff, you can't always show up in the same energy. Seeking perfection, just be yourself. There's no such thing. There's no way for you to be perfect at all given times. There's no way for you to show up happy 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Not every day gonna make you feel like shits and rainbows, giggles and rainbows. I don't know why I said that wrong, but every day ain't gonna make you feel like that. So you gotta be cool with being yourself, showing up how you really feel, showing up as you really are. Okay, we got holding on too. Release old ties, and they just slipped out. You must release the old ties in order for you to have a fresh start with something new. So whatever you feeling from past dynamics, whatever you feel like you went through that may kept you feeling down, kept you guarded, okay? It might have had you feeling like you in some kind of mental block, like a mental fog. You might feel like the walls closing in on you too. Like you just not really, it's like the idea of getting close back with a person might just make you start feeling claustrophobic. Like you might just, I can't breathe. Like, give me a second. This too serious kind of thing. Like you don't want to talk about relationships or commitment or things. Like you might have your own kind of shell shock kind of feelings where it's like now you don't even want to regard somebody trying to be serious with you, but you got to release some old feelings, some old ties, and those old kind of like traumatic feelings, the residuals. You know what I mean? You got to heal yourself so that you're not stuck in this space of holding on to past things that just don't serve you anymore. So addictive behaviors. We had addiction and vulnerable. Okay, so y'all might have some addictive behavior patterns, or maybe something you're indulging in. Whatever it is, it can be considered an obsessive amount. Anything can be an addiction. Doesn't have to be particularly the DRUGSs. Doesn't have to be that. It can definitely be something else. But either way, this addictive behavior leaves you more vulnerable. It says if you're obsessed with someone or struggling with addiction, get help. Okay? Y'all reach out whenever y'all need help. Okay? Get the appropriate people involved so you can get help if you need help. But this also could be what you're holding on to in addiction. Okay? It can be something that you picked up along past situations as a coping mechanism, or just things that you had to do to kind of move forward. And it's like now that part of you is no longer needed. So maybe you're having to let that part go. Be more vulnerable so you can be more vulnerable. Maybe this addiction is keeping you from being as vulnerable. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe your addiction is keeping you from being vulnerable because that's what your coping mechanism is. So instead of facing shit, maybe you just go and roll it up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you just go sip it up. Yeah, it's given that. It says you cannot experience true intimacy unless you open your heart and be yourself. So do not cloud your mind with the things that you indulge in that's going to keep you from having a divine connection, because you won't be grounded enough. You won't be in tune. You won't be tapped in. It's given. The connection won't be as in tune as it could be if you are distracted by your consumptions. If the consumables are consuming you and you can't think straight, or you can't process shit how you usually would, or just in general you're not showing up like yourself, you're really not giving this relationship or these relationships an opportunity, whether it be friendships, new partnerships, whatever. You just got to give ample opportunity. Too soon. So you're getting close too soon. You get too serious too soon. Get to know each other before committing fully. So following alongside with people who are interested in just having a good time Whether it's having a good time that you're doing too soon or just wrapping your feelings up in something and throwing your eggs in one basket too soon. You got to move a little slower. Take things a little slower. Get to know folks a little bit more. Okay, don't commit to something and somebody when you really don't know how people really feel. When you really don't know how this person really moving, what their true intentions are. It's like, don't commit yourself to a situation because you working off of the potential of what it could be or what's being said to you that could be full of shit. You know what I mean? Honestly. Just do not chain yourself to some shit when you don't really know if that's destined for you. Have your options. Let things play out themselves. Do not just jump ship into something. You know what I mean? We got change in them. So you also don't need people trying to change. You don't get the opportunity to show up and tell people how to be. It's like, not only can you not fall for people too soon, but in your interest to be with somebody, you cannot try to make them be somebody else. People gonna be who they be. When you meet people as who they are, you can't dictate to them how they need to be different. That's no different than you, for the ladies who might, let's say you wear a particular aesthetic and somebody tries to tell you after y'all done dated for a year, like, oh, I don't like you wearing whatever the fuck that you've been wearing this last year. And you looking at them like, well, why did you attract yourself to me? Why did you approach me with the intent to change me? That was crazy work. But some people will. Some people walk into your life with the intent to be like, I like these parts, but I don't like this part. And think they could tweak it. And that's not cool. You can't come into somebody's life with the expectation of not loving them wholeheartedly for who they are, but instead you're trying to like edit parts of them. Like, you don't get to just build a... I be trying not to say build a bitch, but essentially you can't. You cannot. You gotta let people be who they is, okay? Trying to change somebody never works. You gotta accept them or move on. That's also an option. You know what I'm saying? It's enough people out here. It's enough fish in the sea. If you don't like something about somebody, you can go somebody else. Same way you can go to another grocery store where they don't sell what you want. You can go to another person. You don't got to stick around for somebody to be something that they not. You don't. And stop trying to make them. That's where y'all fuck up at. Now you're going to have disagreements with somebody you care about because you too busy trying to make them be something that is not who they genuinely are. You're going to cause conflict that did not have to exist. Why you trying to force people into certain boxes, okay? Boundaries and retreating. So you were very much so without boundaries in the past, and it left you hurt a lot, okay? You've been hurt, boo, and I'm here to let you know that it's okay, okay? Hold my hand. It's okay. It's okay, Jim. No, seriously, though. If you had boundaries in the past, you wouldn't have had to go through the growing phases that you did. So it was essential that both spectrums took place. Because now that you have seen what boundaries you lacked, and now you have an abundance of them. Now you know exactly what you will and won't fuck with, okay? You need to hold good boundaries so you don't feel violated by people. People gonna always violate you, which is why it's essential that you be yourself, because you're gonna catch that shit. When you too busy being a people pleaser, you'll just let shit just roll past you, and you'll be like, wait a minute. It's not till after the fact you realize, like, yeah, that was a jab. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was a cut down. They was jabbing you. You need to be yourself. Show up as yourself. Have firm boundaries about what you will and won't tolerate from people. And ultimately, you're going to receive the energies that you seek to find. People will find you. Your people will find you. Relationships, you know, your partners, whatever. Also, don't be holding on to those pains, to those past traumas and things like that. Okay, you fear being hurt, and it's that made you retreat. Like you in a wormhole, scared to come out, scared to try love again, scared to test drive the theory of finding somebody who could be your partner. When in reality is, you need to give love a try. You got to give a love a try. That's making me think about, oh my God, what is the name of that song? I don't know why. My in my head, y'all, I keep hearing time after time. If you're lost and you can't find me, time after time. Whoever, look, don't. If it hits for you, it hit for you. I don't know. That just came in my head. And stuck in the past just so happened to fall out of here. I feel like somebody, you be stuck in the past time after time. Like you be wrapping your head back around about what shoulda, coulda, woulda, and retreating back into these spaces about what was supposed to have been something. On some, I'll be waiting here. Like that. That's that holding on I'm talking about. Time after time. You got to let shit go. Like if you've been through the same shit time after time, it's time to let go. Let go. Stop being so stuck in the past. Stop being so worried about what past situations have occurred, because that's no longer you. That's no longer you. If you sit back worrying about the past, you neglect yourself. You're neglecting the ability for you to elevate and truly excel yourself to your highest timeline. Really give yourself that potential. You know what I mean? So y'all, please lock in, heal yourself, and be more vulnerable and open to the new things, the new possibilities, the new opportunities that come in your way. Okay? But anywho, I love y'all. Hit me up at Dress Oracle Empress if you want any clarity for your own circumstance. And until then, I love y'all. I'll check you later. Peace.